Alright, hey guys, I'm Matt Lighty, and this is a new episode of Rags2Riches, and we'll be discussing a couple things today. One is our massive investment we made on our standard Rags2Riches character. Two is investments in the future, and three, which is tying into number two, is going to be making a hardcore character in Abyss League, not only just to rip things over from, League, but just to take advantage of the League exclusive uniques, because the deals are pretty great even if you're starting this late in the league. And this is pretty much the league is 60% over, and you could still start now and still make a ton of money in standard by playing in league. Apologies if my voice is a little bit raspy. I had a rough week and I was blowing six dudes. I had a cold. And then finally I'm going to discuss something else, and that's a hyper investment, but that's kind of something you can do on the fly. First off, oh look at that, little spoiler alert. We're going to go over the investment we made on our main account, and things have changed a little bit. And the first thing you notice is our bank doesn't have like 200x anymore. Why is that? It's because we bought something pretty insane. Now, as far as our sales tab, nothing really has changed here. We the biggest thing we did, and you can check all this on our sales page, is we bought a bunch of breach stones from some guy in Global 1. He had them on a pretty good deal, so we bought a fuck ton of those. Still have a bunch left, but if you look in our fragment tab, that's a new tab. You can see we still have 19 Esh stones left. And, we have some stuff going on. Still tons of Shaper sets that hasn't changed, but our War Chief Totem build hasn't changed either. Nothing really changing for cards or maps or anything like this. Oh, this is new. We purchased 110 Harbinger Orbs, and from that 110, we got 36 Beachheads. Harbinger Orbs still exist, which means you can still make Beachheads. I didn't actually have enough chisels at the time to make them all 20 quality, which is a bit of a shame, but it is what it is. So whenever I want to level, can easily level from 93, 94, 36 beachheads is plenty enough. It'd probably take half that, if not less. We've sold a bunch of stuff. All our Chiula stones are gone. Finally, we got another Zoffs, we got another Pandemonius, we got another Choir. It's like nothing fancy. Oh, we got a Culling Strike Howa. That's pretty cool. I always value these, and the off chance that it happens to go Culling Strike, and they did. And the current version of Howa is the best version, so the legacy ones are actually worse. So I can sell that, if you're going to play Howa and you want a boss and you want to do it seriously, you're going to kind of want to get a Culling Strike one, so that's really dope. Nothing else new here. I've just been, every time I get gloves, I val them, and sometimes they go, Vul on hit, Ellie on hit, Temp on hit. Exalt's kind of a dream. If I got 50C from it, I'd still be making my money back. From running all the breaches I ran, the Breach Lord zones, you get, what is that card called? The Realm, which gives you superior portals. And because, this is very exciting, our Zana is finally level 8, which means we have access to Breach. We could Val all our stones, and even we Val like 18, we only got one Val Breach, but it's a pretty easy sell for close and exalted. If not, I can get 100C without much issue. So, still worth doing. What is different? Well, we 6-linked our impulses we had from last time. I don't know if we showed that in the last episode or over in stream. We do a lot of these things on stream to kind of recap them in the episodes and go over the basic principles in the episodes. Using that at the moment, having Eshin Samir, just one of the many we've had. We purchased for 200 exalted a copy, that's right, it's a copy of Phobite, the Mirrored Fizz Wand. So this wand has 100x mirror fee. A mirror is 220x, meaning it would be 320x to mirror my own. Somebody was selling a version, and the reason they're selling it a little bit cheaper, they're selling it very cheap. It was 200x, and he was willing to go lower because he knew I was Lighty, like I'm on my second account, but it still has Lighty in the name. But I can't do that because Rags2Riches, so I had to pay the full buyout price, which is fine. It's still, I think, a really great deal, and it unlocks the potential for not just this build, but for any wand build. Kinetic Blast, Val Power Siphon, Barrage, Power Siphon if it ever comes back into favor. Yeah, it's like a mirror item. I bought a mirror item. It's an insane investment, but it's insanely strong. And yeah, I haven't like really made the build together and stuff, but at the moment my res, I'm using some old rings I had from when we were doing Lead Sprinkler, and I was making like shitty rings. And my res is pretty much capped with Wise Oak, which is always up. My tree is looking like so. It's pretty fucked and I'm missing stuff, but not much has changed. I just dropped the wand nodes, picked up Winter Spirit to convert some fizz to cold, and then I path up here and grab all the good fizz wander nodes. And wander especially needs like a really high level character, so I'm still missing levels, and my tree is not optimized by any stretch of the imagination. So yeah, this is going to be worked on over the next couple of months, and then I'll get it to work. And eventually what happens is I'll drop Light Poacher, get a Tempest Binding, use a Calm's Heart, which I do have, but I don't have the strength, I don't think, even to use it. Nope, not even enough strength. 191. You need so much strength to use Calms. So then I just sit there and do beachhead rotations all day long. And I get to fucking 100. That's pretty much the goal. So after I do the hardcore character thing, which we're going to go over in a second, that's the goal. So let's go over what I want to do for this hardcore character and why I'm doing it. So if we take a little look here, there are some things that I'm going to be investing in my hardcore character, which we're going to hop to right now, called Lighty Miner 69er. Level 75 in Abyss Hardcore. I leveled him. I haven't used any money making methods at all that I normally use. Everything was found and acquired through just playing the game. I didn't purchase really anything while leveling at all. I bought a 5-link for a chaos, I think, or 2 chaos, if that even, and that's it. I leveled as Frostbolt Mines. I started as Fire Trap, Glacial Cascade Mines, Frostbolt Mines. The second I acquired 2 Threshold Jewels. I got one in Act 5. I bought the other one for an Alk. That is that. There's nothing, there's no tricks, there's no tips to that past if you know how to level, if you just play the game and not die. Maybe asking, oh yeah, I bet you were 4 levels under zone and all that. No. No, I wasn't. I stayed at Chamber of Innocence for a while because I was just fucking around and leveling. I stayed at the Blood Aqueduct until like 73 because I was waiting on someone to progress that I wanted to level with. No, there's no excuses for if you could get to any level. You can get to maps in hardcore playing just Glacial Cascade Mines, Frostbolt Mines. My links, I had a 4-link for the longest time: Remote Mine, Crit Strikes, Minefield, Frostbolt. Why Crit Strikes over anything else? It feels the best because it freezes things 100% of the time pretty much. And when you have an Abyss out, it freezes them guaranteed. Yeah, I got 1 Calm's hard card to drop. That was lucky. Extra 25C. What I spent it on, crafting a dagger that I happened to get 3 tier 1. I bought a Shaper dagger, crafted it. It was alteration into controlled destruction and into spell crit. 2 dank tier 1s, regaled it into tier 1 multi. Had a friend mastercraft on Katarina. By a friend I mean some random guy in guild. Could have been Darkstar, but that piece of shit doesn't even, I don't get me started on him. So yeah, that is the character. It's very simple, and I can go over just in 1 minute how the build works and its lines of defense. Frostbolt Miner, I'm playing a Saboteur. It revolves around Frostbolt and interaction with mine. I place the mines, and then I push D, and they shoot out, and look at that. They look cool because the MTX. If the MTX was not to be on, they look like that. Not as cool. MTX on. We had some points left over, and we just bought the frag tab. So unless a new tab comes out, nothing we really need to get, we're fine on stash tab space because of the new frag tab. And honestly, it saved a lot of space in our account. That's the gist of the build. I placed these mines, I pushed D. That's it. Other setups include increased duration, Val Clarity. Val Clarity makes my things not cost mana. Why do I need that? It's because Spell Totem, faster casting, detonate mines. It's not going to work because there's nothing to target, but if there's an enemy on the screen, detonate mines automatically detonates the mines, and they target that. Which meaning, while this totem is up, I can just right click and these things go off automatically. As you can see, my mana's going down. That is why I need Val Clarity, to prevent my mana from going down forever. Even with a flask up, my mana kind of goes down a little bit maybe, but on top of that, I have Mind Over Matter, meaning if I get hit, something comes out of my mana. So if I'm sitting here and tanking hits, I can have Val Clarity up and keep my shit going. Clarity, Temp Chains, Blasphemy. I do not need damage at all on this build. So what do I want to run if I don't have fucking damage isn't an issue? Clarity, Temp Chains, Blasphemy. Eventually, drop Clarity, run Discipline. I get even bigger bubble. I got 3.4k life, 700 ES. Never gonna have more than 4k life, just not gonna happen. I'll get about 1000 ES. I got about 800 mana because I got Dream Frags. It's a lot of nice mana. Can't be frozen, can't be chilled. Quality of life, again, don't need damage. Have plenty of res, so what else you gotta do? You gotta go for quality of life stuff. What is this big, ridiculous looking shield you're using? Well now, that's called Magna Eclipses. It can be Divine better, it can be Blessed better. I get over 100 life on it, fine. Plus 2 socketed gems. Eventually, I'm gonna transition my 3 auras, my Blasphemy, my Temp Chains, and my soon-to-be Discipline into my shield. Makes them a little bit stronger. Get Elemental Aegis when equipped. What in the fuck is that? Okay, basically, I'm going to do a map. I'm going to show you 2 minutes of the build. You're going to see how this build works, and you're going to see what that bubble is. There's the bubble. Look at that thing. It's a bubble. Top left, Elemental Aegis. Elemental damage from hits is taken from the Aegis, meaning the bubble, before your life for ES. It restores to full value if you take no damage from hits for a while. Now, we all know that if you hear things that say recently on tags, I don't even have an example of this shit, but recently means 4 seconds in path. And from all the research I've done, it looks to be about 10 seconds for a while. But when that 10 seconds up, it doesn't just recharge from 1 to 0, it just goes back to 1,000. And this means that they have to get past my 1,000 first, my 700 first, and then between my mom and my life, I got about 5k effective life, which is not bad. It's honestly not bad. So I'm actually tankier than I appear to be despite having such a low life pool. This is how the build works. It's going to be really simple looking. Place down mines, push D, everything dies. That's it. You see? You push the thing and then it just auto targets them. They just fucking die. They do a lot of damage. More damage than you'll ever need. And it's a pretty safe build and you can do whatever you want. And then the whole point of this build is I just do the unID'd chaos recipe. UnID'd chaos recipe, meaning you trade in a full, we've talked about this in the past in very many episodes, but you trade in a full set, meaning one of each slot of unID'd gear, and that will get you 2 chaos, precious 2 chaos. Why does 2 chaos matter? 2 chaos doesn't seem like enough. Well, you get an unID'd chaos recipe every other map, especially if you're adding up all the stray pieces you're getting. Run your maps rare, you'll have no problem getting that, right? So why does that matter? Well, I'll show you why that matters in 2 seconds here. In hardcore, the league I'm in, you have some stuff that's pretty cheap and pretty expensive other places. Hardcore Abyss, 3C for a Darkness and Throne belt. It's the Abyss belt. The whole point of it is it has 2 Abyss sockets, meaning you can put 2 jewels in them. Abyss jewels are insane, and they have a 50% increased effect. So it's like you got a 3rd jewel, kind of. So it's like 3 jewels, basically. There's 3 to 4C in hardcore. They're 50C plus on standard. 50C plus. 3C to 50C plus. Every 2 maps, you can buy a Darkness and Throne belt, probably on average. If you liquidate the currency you get, should be no issue for you getting a Darkness and Throne belt every single map. You would have vendor the 6 sockets, chaos recipe, you know, the chromes you find, everything. You're getting 1 Darkness and Throne every rare map you run. Really shouldn't matter. Just any rare map. If you just, you know, loot everything, whatever. Alterations, all that shit. Sell that in standard, 50C. Every rare map I do in hardcore, 50C in standard. That is insane. So just the time cost effectiveness of this is ridiculous. Guess what? This was even better a month ago. If I would have done this a month ago, it would have been 3 times as much. Now let's crank up the numbers. All right, Light Poacher, 5, 6, 7C, hardcore. Got 80C, 90C, 110C, standard. Now honestly, it's an easier sell, but the price differential is different than Darkness and Throne, right? It's different. Also a good investment, also a good market, but it's just different. The big boy, Shadow of the Lightless. This is the Abyss chest, right? Hardcore, 30x, 35x. Standard, 48x, 62x. It's kind of weird how it's different. The main reason I made this account is because I want one of these in standard, and I don't want to buy them. Now the final question is, how much has an Exalted? In hardcore, they're not so much. They're 30C each. Meaning, if I'm getting 30C a day, it'll take me a month to buy a Shroud of the Lightless. Kind of. The math is wonky. But if I do stuff like Uberlab, I can play more, I can have this chest in a week and a half, no problem, even playing a couple hours a day. That's kind of the idea of the build, that's kind of the idea of this account, and I'm probably going to follow through and do that. So satisfying just to watch. This is what a boss fight looks like for me. Just a complete shit show spray of fucking attacks. Can he survive this? Kind of. Alright, so that was 1 map done. There's about 2C in there, 3C in there. If you were to liquidate the regret, you know, the maps, sell the maps for an elk each. You got part of a chaos recipe, 1 KSC drop. There's 1 Darkness belt. There's 50C in standard. How crazy is that? I really do wish there was an auto sort button now, because we have so many different map tabs and frag tabs and essence tabs and currency tabs and card tabs. We just push a button and it just poops everything into those specific tabs. Everything that's not in those categories just stays in your inventory. That'd be pretty cool, but that's never going to happen. So one more investment that we might be making in the future, and it's kind of just something I leave on when I'm playing on this character, when I'm tweaking the build, when I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do and where I want to go with stuff. Why is that there? This should be in the frag tab. This is kind of I kind of fuck myself over when I give away this sort of information, because this is stuff I do on my main account when I'm making investments. I put alt art on, I put rarity unique, and I click search on standard, and I click live mode. And I leave this on, and this has to kind of come with some knowledge, because if you don't know what alt arts are worth, make sure notify with sound, notify with browsers on. If you don't know what alt arts are worth, it's not going to do anything for you. But basically, I will sit here and wait and watch if certain alt arts go on the market. So I just sit here and you just leave this open, and every now and then you'll get whooped. And when you do, that's when you know. Oh, there we go. Just happened. Just got whooped. I was just out AFK for 2 seconds. So one guy is posting all his shit for 20x. Nothing here is worth remotely 20x. These are all like what referred to as like trash, low tier alt arts. But yeah, now you know if they say 20C, maybe you could jump on this. But this guy just doesn't know anything or just doesn't give a shit. Basically, I'm playing Fizz Kinetic Blast, is like whatever you want to call it, a KB Wander with like a Fizz Wander, and it's grossly powerful build. Like it's like off the charts powerful as far as how much clear speed and safety I have and everything about it. So if you got level to 100, a build like this is the way to go, honestly. Especially once you get at Kalem's Heart, you get enough life and you're good to go. Yeah, that about wraps it up. So this is the Fizz Wander build. I'm gonna be working on getting the final pieces for, tweaking the tree, and making all necessary changes. I don't have to run Biscos anymore. I'm pretty much good on that. There's no reason not to run it when doing beachheads if I can, so it'll be my only kind of like cheese slot. So yeah, this is the investment as far as hardcore goes. If you have any questions regarding how I leveled in hardcore, but I'm telling you, it's just like I've just played the game. Nothing fancy even happened. I didn't do any tricks or tips for getting currency. Yeah, ask me any questions. I'm Lighty, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.